Accidentally stopped stream. Yay, fucking great. Hold on.
That
God
sounds like the
damn it.
doorbell.
Fucking. God fucking damn it. Open. Hi.
Hi again, George.
It's not like a government employee to make a mistake, but I forgot to deliver this important letter for your Uncle Chuck.
He's busy in his workshop and can't be disturbed. I'll take
What
it
the
for him.
fuck?
Okay, Dolores, here it is. And
You
remember,
know what I'll
it's
do?
illegal to open someone else's mail. Punishable by a $50,000 fine and or 5 years in
over to
jail.
here.
Thanks, George. That's good to know.
Okay,
So
back to
I
my
don't do
vitally
that
important government
again.
job.
Now I have a double VOD because fuck my life. Well, shit. No. I want to check something real quick. Well, first, what I want to do is do moderator uptime. Well, it's not going to show me the uptime now. Fuck! Hold on a second, I'll be right back. Where the ring? Oh no. Ah! What the fuck? Ooh, baby, I love your way every day, yeah. I love to think about you night and day. No. Girl, I'm gonna make you sweat. Sweat till you can't sweat no more. No, can't you see he's a man? Let me hear you applaud. He is more than a man, he's a shiny golden god. If you think it's time to fucking rock and fucking roll out of control. Forever, I'm surprised you can say fuck in front of your mother like that. Even though I can do it, but you know, I can do it. I do it a lot. I mean, my mom doesn't like it, but I do it anyways. Jesus Christ, you fucker. Having a crazy poop. Hey, look, butt. I like butt. Oh, that's kind of hot. I mean, why? Oh, yeah. It was a nice butt, though. My best and my succeeding. Nope, just sucking dick. The thing probably is watching me. No, it's not watching me. It's not behind me. I'm good. I don't want that. Gum gum suck slurp gum gum. Ooh, I love this fat schmeat. Sorry, holy shit.
What do you?
Sorry about that. I'm back. Volume. Wait. Oh. Hold on. I'm having an issue with stuff. What? Okay, now what am I? You can't.
It's a letter to my Uncle Chuck. As expected, the post office's poorly programmed auto stamp cancellation machine has failed again. Amateurs.
That's not where I want to be. I forgot where it said that he is. Oh, there's no doorknob, right?
There's nothing inside.
Oh no, there was a doorknob.
There's nothing inside.
I will open everything.
There's nothing inside.
Okay. I'm not gonna close everything though.
There's nothing inside.
Open cupboard.
There's nothing inside. There's nothing inside.
Okay.
There's nothing inside.
Hold on. Open. Open. Give. No, I can't give. Okay, whatever. Close.
It's already closed.
Okay, fine. I want to close the fridge though. Open. Open door. Open door. And Dexatron? Okay. PCB, really? Closing life of life. Made myself in 100 pieces letter for myself. Oh, the true secret of Monkey Island. Hold on. Look at. Hold on. The true secret of Monkey Island. Most of the books in the library were written by our backers and supporters. They assume all responsibility for their content. Oh my god! Ah! I just got fucking rickrolled. That's funny though. Fucking assholes. Oh, I get it. They're fighting. Hold on. Encyclopedia of Writer's Block. Come on. Owning your digital watch, overcoming writer's block. Okay, sorry, okay then. Let's keep looking at a lot of these books. But how to scam your pet, how to make money fast, French theme park plans, efficient communication, like Monday and analysis, managerial monster, bad business, attract money easy, 1,000 rules for team leads, makeup for businessmen, micro strategies, modernizing pillows, polyester and you. Something Island? Like Monkey Island? Oh my god, Brush Guy! It's made by Guybrush! The mighty hero had to overcome the challenges that had led to this moment. The shipwreck, the mutinous crew, the island challenges, and now he has found what he had been searching for. It was time to find a way into the secret hideout. He looked up at the entrance and praying, "That's the second biggest secret hideout I have ever seen." As he looked in his bag for anything that could help him, all he could find is breath mints and chicken with a pulley attached. Yep. It was then he knew he had no way to enter the secret hideout. Don't you have the key? Asked his little furry friend, and with a quick reply, the mighty pirate said, "I must have left it in my other pants." Okay. The original Earl of Guy. Got it, I don't know. Good, bad, and the celery. Hunt for Crimson Storm. The Secret of the Dragon, the Pyromaniacs. The Islet of Slicemians. The End of the Darkest Era, the Edge of CERN, the Earthworm. Wait, is that an Earthworm Jim reference? Hold on, now we have to see. Where are you? Where are you? The Earthworm Trilogy. The room was dark and smelled. Oh, it's not. Okay. The Earthworm Trilogy. Okay, so I thought that had to do with Earthworm Jim, which would make no sense, honestly, but still. What's that one? Grandma's Greatest. Fruits for Thought. Eating Peanuts, a Guide. Cooking with Your Toilet? Interesting. Charlatan Charcuterie. I don't know what that means. How to grow potatoes. How to eat chicken, how perilous are pastas. Megazuza. How perilous are I'm trying to look up. Ooh! Hold on. That might be whatchamacallit? Maybe not. Cook for if you want. Then time machine. Oh. Okay. Look at. Let's see. Anything else that I can look at? Quintessentially British. Okay. Why? Wait. Did that say? Wait. The joy. Okay, I thought that said the day. Why I hate turnips? Okay, hold on. I will keep looking until I find more references. This will take forever though. And I don't care. The gamer behind the mask. Is that a reference to a game or something? Pause. Yeah, hold on. Real Secret of Monkey hold on. Okay, first. You know what? Fuck that. Look, oh, it's gonna do it again, isn't it? I know it's not gonna be in case of the flat faces. Where are you? Where is it? Wait, what? Okay. Space Hands. Hey, my Commodore 64. That's funny. Okay, let's see. What's this? The Thimbleweed Monster. Son of Fear. The Secret of Thimbleweed? The crew left the island with the monkey in their chest. It was a rare exemplar. After left the sunny place and moved in, they brought the animal for a zoo. But some said he had a threatening order, some said he was speaking to them in their thoughts, and that's an idiot for most people. To see from outside that the kid was glowing in green light. Okay. Look at the Secret of Ape Isle. Oh, it's I get it. Hold on, where the fuck is the Secret of Monkey Island? Well, one or whatever. Hold on. I know I saw something over here or something. How did I see that, but it's not here? What the fuck? Wait, what? Wait, is it? Oh, okay. Real secret monkey eye. Mancomb's seed good and okay. Error 404 secret enough. I knew they were gonna make jokes like that. You know. Come at first draft. Black holes and bootstraps. I thought that said boy holes and bootstraps for a second. IO Sono. Wait, hold on. Press the wrong fucking button. Okay. Pomp and snobbery. My alien girlfriend. Love is in the air. The way of the tentacle instead of the day of the tentacle? With the Z? Okay, look at... Where is it? The way of the tentacle. Can't reach it. No, man. Green tea. Handsome tentacle, you know how to make beautiful music together? Okay, whatever, I don't care. Okay. I don't, like, fully not care, but, like, I'm trying to look at all the books and stuff, you know? Oh, the green oh, green tea! Green tentacle from Maniac Mansion or, Day of the Tentacle. Okay, I get it now, okay. It's like... I hope there's another, like, secret of Monkey Island thing. Buck Starman. Wait a second. Is that... Okay, that could be a Space Quest reference, but I don't know. A speculative biography? I got one. 2016 A Life Odyssey. Nice. Oh my god, I thought that said ass pussy, not apostasy. Oh my god, my brain. I can't see. Immortality Trophy? Okay, cool. Skizzy? Oh, hold on a second. Look at, let's see, where's Skizzy? Okay, lifted his hand up to the pad and started poking at the wait, what? He had the combination along 21, 1, 25. Interesting. I will keep looking. Stopcock? What? Hold on, huh? Goes on to... I don't know what that means. Okay, anyway. I'm still looking. Defense against shark farts instead of dark arts. The citrusy shark emits dangerous farts which can signalize the citrus in its farts has been known to cause eye irritation for as long as days. Well, goggles can... Okay. Interesting. Not, like, interesting enough for me to read the whole thing out. Who the okay, whatever. Build your own camera, bring a game skills fun, born to your life. Wait. What kind of anti-infant manifesto? Interesting. A Pac-Man ghost exorcism 30 years into the future. Okay. Diary of... I wanna read that. Yeah, I can't even figure out. You know what? Fuck it. I'm still looking at all these, so. Okay. The symbol of history, the principles of Sun Tzu, the holy book. I'm not gonna look at that. Okay. Building a ship, how to program a droid. Oh, you know what that's gonna be? I think I know what that's gonna be. In case of droid rebellion. Okay. I'm guessing this is a Star Wars reference. Droid will start normally and continue to rebel, probably ending your human life. Okay. I'm not. I don't want to look at it, but I have to. Okay. I looked at all of these and only found a few that were funny. Well, that's exactly what I thought was gonna happen. Just ones and zeros. Imagine there was another Rickroll. I'd be pissed. What's this? Wait, there's a plant named Chuck? Walk the phone book. Look at phone book. Come on, please tell me there's a Guybrush in here. Let's see, G. Oh, there's Gary Winnick. That's one of the people that made this game. That'd be cool. Guybrush. Let's see. G. There's no Guybrush. Guy Wyatt. Guybrush Taylor. There we go. Now we have a Guybrush in here. Okay, so Ron Gilbert. That would be R. So let's be here. Oh, sorry. Got up too far. Ron. That would be a little more LMN. Ron Gilbert found him 7906. 79. Let's try 7906. Use telephone 7906. No. It's not gonna work, is it? Well, I guess that doesn't work. Anyway, what I want to do now is kind of go up the stairs.
There's a sign there. Better read it first.
Oh, okay. I forgot to look at the sign.
It says out of order.
Oh, okay. Okay, anyway, use letter.
It doesn't work in that.
Okay. Give letter to. Oh, wait, duh. Okay, open doors. That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to open the door. Okay. I was in there for a little too long, don't you think? Okay, let's see. Open this door. Okay, that's my room. Where is my uncle? Where's my uncle? What books do I have?
These are my Anne of Green Gables books. Maybe someday they'll do a TV show.
Hey, guess what? Wait, didn't they? I can't remember. I know they probably made a movie or something.
These are my Chronicle of Narnia and Hitchhiker's Trilogy. I love my books.
Ooh, Hitchhiker's Guide and Narnia books? Okay, cool. Right up here. Can I look? at these separately. Are these all separate?
This is my complete set of Tolkien books, including 3 pristine sets of Lord of the Rings, The Adventures of Tom Bombadil, The Silmarillion, just to start. I reread them from time to time.
Okay. Look at.
These are my Chronicle of Narnia
I
and
looked at that
Hitchhiker's
one.
Trilogy. This section includes the complete history of Mucus Phlegm, the pointed history of point-and-click graphic adventures, and walkthroughs for all Mucus Phlegm games.
Get it? Lucasfilms is a Mucus Phlegm? I don't know. Look at. Did I look at the bottom ones or the middle ones?
These are my Kirksbox/fiction books.
Oh.
I'm a believer.
Oh, god damn it.
This is my complete set of Nancy Drew mysteries. I'm kind of a fan, I guess.
I can't save, so I have to do this. Hold on. Where do I find the uncle? Open?
Franklin, you idiot! I'm just trying to, help.
Is that yelling? Oh, gag me. I hope my dad and Uncle Chuck aren't fighting again.
And since most of the machinery at the pillow factory is lying fallow, I've come up with this, great plan to repurpose them.
Yeah.
We can use them to make, plush toys.
Franklin, you idiot! The company is Pillowtronics, not stupid plush Toytronics. We make pillows! What do you think that would do to our credibility, our reputation?
Okay, Chuck, you're right, but, I was up all night working on the business plan. Maybe, you could just, look at it?
No, no, no! It's a pillow factory!
Are you two fighting again? I'm getting so sick of this. You're brothers. Take a chill pill. You started the pillow factory together. Won't you ever stop fighting about it?
Nothing you need to worry about, Dolores. Right, Franklin, old brother?
Ah, yes, your uncle and I were just, talking business. I have some work to do.
Dolores, can you get my .8mm point-tip soldering iron?
You know, Uncle Chuck, you should use a 2mm flat tip, and you never heat your solder hot enough.
That's my favorite niece. I can't wait for you to take over the pillow factory. I know you'll keep the Edmund pillow dream alive.
Okay, sorry. I can't save here at all. Oh wait, no, I can't. Okay, it's just invisible. Okay. Hold on. So I saved. Let's see. Anyway, let's save again. Save game. Okay. And let's see who I should rid of. I know who I can rid out to. Hold on. In a second. On. Okay. Sorry, I was typing something for a custom raid message. So, if everybody can join me for raid, that'd be greatly appreciated. If you can't, however, that's okay too. Copy out either of those raid messages if I can put it in right. Yeah, I did. Okay. We are going to raid Waitster55, who right now is playing Kingdom Come Deliverance, right? Yeah, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. So, if everybody can join me for a raid, that'd be greatly appreciated. If you can't, however, that's okay too. I hope you all enjoyed the stream. I hope to see you all next time, and I hope you all have a great day and continue to have a great day. Let's